Hello everybody, this is Dee from Dee's Cute and Crafty, and I am back with 4 Easter DIYs for you today. We're going to be using the Apple Barrel Pewter Gray paint and the Waverly Chalk paint and Ballet Slipper, one of these cute little bunny ear pieces that I got from the Target Hotspot, some snowballs from Dollar Tree, some various ribbons, one of the Dollar Tree MDF rounds, and one of the Dollar Tree bunny butts. I love that these are out now. I'm able to find them at my Dollar Tree along with a lot of other blank wood Easter cutouts. So I'm very happy to share with you what I'm going to do with those. So I'm just going in with my Apple Barrel Pewter Gray paint and giving this a nice coat. I'll leave that little tail blank and put the Apple Barrel white paint on that. And next I'm going in with my Waverly Chalk paint in the color Ballet Slipper. And I took a pencil and freehanded the pads of the bunny's feet. And now I'm just going in and painting in my little circles, or actually the little pieces at the bottom kind of look like jelly beans, to make the pads of the bunny's feet. Because the Dollar Tree wood blanks are kind of thin, excuse me, are kind of thin, I decided that I wanted to make it a little thicker by adding it to one of these MDF rounds that I get from Dollar Tree that I make my signs with a lot of the times, but it's a little bit bigger than I need. So I'm scoring it 3 times with my X-Acto knife, and then I'm just snapping that bottom piece off. And the good thing about this is that I don't have to cover it with craft paper because I'm going to just adhere my bunny butt to the side that has all the glitter on it. I'm purposely leaving that little bit of brown that you see at the top. For some reason, that just caught my eye and I liked it. So I just left it that way. I purposely glued it down just a little bit so that brown shows up. But this MDF round is going to make this piece a little more sturdy because, again, sometimes the Dollar Tree wood blanks are a little thin and they tend to bow on you or kind of bend in depending on how much paint you put on them. So I'm just making it a little more substantial. I'm going in with that white paint from Apple Barrel and just dry brushing. If dry brushing is not your thing, by all means, don't do it. But I absolutely adore it. I don't know why. I just love it. And then if I get a little more paint than I'd like, I go in with my gator and just sand some of it down, making it nice and soft. I like a nice soft look when I dry brush most of the time. So now I'm going in with these fuzzy, cute ears from the Target Hotspot, $1. I had these, I think last year I got these, and I just put them away. And I'm just gluing that down. Now, I use the whole thing, but by all means, you can cut these ears off of that headband and just put the ears on. I just use the whole thing. Didn't even cut it down. Going in with my ribbon, and I don't remember where this gray ribbon came from. Really pretty with the little ticking stripes on the edges. I have no idea. I'm trying to look at the roll while I'm doing this video to see what it says on it. But anyway, it's a really pretty charcoal gray ribbon. My ribbon stash is ridiculous. I get it from everywhere, anywhere there's a sale, and I just stock up on it and put it away and pull it out when I need it. So oftentimes it's not new ribbon, so I can't remember where it came from. But that pink burlap is from Dollar Tree. So I'm just doing 2 loops per ribbon per side, and I made my tails and I dovetailed them, and I'm tying it together with some jute cord. I love to do this. It's the easiest bow that I have ever learned to make. And again, it comes out just pretty every time. I never have an issue when I use the Olivia bow method to make this bow. And I'm just going to tie it to the ear. I'd rather tie my bows on and my greenery than glue them on because it stays better if you tie it on. If you glue it on and you hang your sign somewhere where the sun hits it, everything's going to melt and fall off. So I'm just putting some little holes in the fabric with this poking tool. I have no idea what it's called, but I picked it up at Harbor Freight a while back and it made a nice starter hole, but it wasn't big enough. So then I went in with my scissors, very carefully and made the hole bigger so that I could thread that jute cord through it and get it tied off. Now I'm going in with that big old Dollar Tree snowball left over from Christmas. I had a pack of those, and I'm just going to put a tail on it. We're going to call this one Done, and it is so adorable, you guys. I love this one. I think it's going to be my favorite. Moving on to DIY number two, using another one of these Dollar Tree wood blanks. I like this bunny as well. It's so cute. And I have some scrapbooking paper from a book that I bought from Walmart. And I showed you the blue truck ribbon, but I'm not going to end up using that. Just making some lines, and it's not rocket science. I'm not even measuring them out evenly. I'm just going in and I'm eyeballing it, looking at what looks good to me and drawing my lines down. And you see here that I'm erasing that one because it was a little shorter than I wanted. So I pulled back and made it just a little bit wider. And I'm going in with my craft paper. It came in a book, and I think it was like $4.99. It was on clearance at Walmart, so I picked it up. And I'm just looking to see where I want my strips of paper to be. And now I'm going to take my jumbo glue stick from Dollar Tree and just glue those strips of paper down in whatever order I choose. You go ahead and choose the order you want. So I take that paper, I line it up with the piece that I already put down, I fold it back so that I can see the line that I drew, and then I put a crease in it and I cut it, and that gives me the exact width of what I need to cut for this bunny. So I'm using my jumbo glue stick. You could definitely use Mod Podge, but I think for this, the glue stick is more precise for me and less messy, and that's why I'm using it. You are going to take your paper seamlessly all the way up. Even when you get to the ears, the paper on the ears should match whatever line of paper you have on the bottom, if that makes sense at all. I'm going in with my little smoothing tool from Dollar Tree and smoothing everything down, again overlapping that paper, folding it back till you see the line, putting a crease in there, and then cutting it will give you the exact width of paper that you need. And now that I have all my paper on, I'm going in with my scissors and quickly realize the scissors are too big. This is not going to work. Too many curves, nooks, and crannies. So now I'm going to use my X-Acto knife. And please don't do what I did. Wait until your paper dries. I get so excited about the end product of a DIY that I just plow right ahead. But please let your paper and your glue dry, because I ended up cutting off some of the paper from the ear. It kind of ripped off because it wasn't dry, it wasn't secured, and I had to go back in and add another piece of paper, just a small piece, to repair it. It was an easy repair, but if I'd waited, I wouldn't have had to do that. See, right there at the top. I'm just going to put a little glue, put a little piece of paper, and you never know that I fixed it, but I wanted to share that with you guys. Just take your time and let it dry. Going in with my Gator sander, and I'm just smoothing down those edges and making it nice and crisp and seamless. I love this part. It's very therapeutic. And now I'm going to add a bow. And well, I'm going to add his cottontail first. And this is just cotton that I have in my cosmetics cabinet in the bathroom. Just plain old, cotton. But now that I've looked at all the beautiful paper on there, I felt like the blue truck ribbon was just a little bit too much. I felt like it would be too busy. So I opted for a more neutral color ribbon. So I'm using this Dollar Tree ribbon with the burlap background and the lace trim. And then I'm going to use the beautiful, I call it beautiful every time because I love this lace ribbon from Dollar Tree. I'm going to use that and I'm going to stack them. On this one, I'm not doing the tails on the burlap ribbon. I'm letting the lace ribbon be the tails along with a little bit of that jute cord. That's going to hang down and be the tails because I didn't want it to be too much. I did end up adding a tumbling tower block to the back of this bunny so he could stand on his own. And here he is. I think he's adorable, you guys. And moving on to DIY number 3, you're going to need the folk art paint, and you're going to need, what color is that? Parisian gray. I have my Waverly chalk paint in the color plaster. I have some of these foam eggs from Dollar Tree, one of the rectangular Dollar Tree canvases, one of the long blank wood signs from Dollar Tree, and various ribbons. Nope, not various ribbons. I have some nautical cord, and I'm also going to use a little bit of greenery, some jute twine, and one of the wooden bunnies. I also have my Waverly chalk paint in the color Ballet Slipper. I have the Apple Barrel Pewter Gray paint, and then I'm not sure what color of Apple Barrel this blue paint is. I want to say it's Glacier, but I'm not sure. So anyway, I'm going in with my staple remover and I am removing those staples very carefully. I lift them up with the staple remover and then I go in with my wire cutters and pull them out. So I know this is a pain and a lot of people don't like to do it, but I don't mind taking the extra time to get the staples out. I don't like painting over them or leaving them in, just my personal preference. So now that I've got this frame all taken out of the canvas, I'm going in with some craft sticks. I cut them down to size and I am shoring up these corners or making them more stable because sometimes these frames like this that are in the canvas are not very stable and they tend to be a little wonky and I want it to be nice and secure. So I'm just giving it a little more stability by adding those craft stick pieces to the corner. Now I took that Dollar Tree plank and I cut it to size, but it wasn't wide enough. So I ended up having to cut some more pieces to get the width that I needed to fill this frame. And I cut it with my miter box saw. It was very simple to do. Now I'm taking my Waverly chalk paint in the color plaster and I'm giving this a pretty heavy dry brush. And then I'm going to sand it down with my gator, just distressing it. I love this. I love the way that wood peeks out from under that paint and you get that two-dimensional kind of color. I just really enjoy anything distressed. Again, if it's not your thing, you paint it the way you'd like, but this is absolutely gorgeous to my eye. Sanding it down with that gator, brushing off all that sanding dust, and then I'm going to go in with my ladybug and clean up all that sanding dust off my work surface and continue on. So now I'm replacing the canvas. Just going to staple it back down. And here is my blank Dollar Tree wood plank. I took my X-Acto knife and I scored it a couple times just to give it a more authentic wood look, like barn wood or plank wood or something like that. It looks so much better when you do that, and then you put your antique wax on it. It just brings out those lines, and I really like it. So that's why I do it. And then I'm also staining my little pieces that I had to cut to piece this together. And I don't mind that it's pieced together. That's part of crafting to me, and that's what makes it look more farmhouse in my opinion. And I just love it. I love the look of it. I love how it came out. And yes, I spilled my antique wax and I'm not happy. But you see, I'm just using it off the table. And what I did not use, I just scooped it up and put it back in that bottle. Waste not, want not. Our Walmart no longer sells Waverly chalk paints or waxes, so I'm very, frugal with what little bit I have left. So here you see me piecing this together like a puzzle, and I'm going to get it glued down. And if it bothers you that it's pieced together like that, when we get to the part where we make the wreath, put the wreath in the corner where it's pieced together and you'll never see that it was. I didn't do that. I left it where you could see it because I like it. So here's my nautical cord, and I'm just doing 2 rounds, like 2 circles, and that's going to be my wreath. And I'm going to wrap some jute twine around that just to keep it together, give it a little more character. The crafts that I do are very simple and just pretty, I think. I feel like it's easy to do and you get a lot of bang for your buck. I mean, these are Dollar Tree supplies, you guys, but you come out with a high-end piece when you're done with it. I feel like you do. And so I just enjoy it so much. And I'm glad you guys are here and I'm glad you enjoy it too. Thank you so much for watching and being here with me. And if you've made it to this part of the video and you've not yet subscribed, please consider subscribing and becoming part of the Cute and Crafty family. I would love to have you here. Now I'm just adding in my florals. And these just came from my scraps, my Dollar Tree scraps. I keep a basket of scrap florals, little tiny pieces that I have left over from other projects because you can always use them somewhere else. And here are those pretty muted eggs that we painted. I painted them in the pink, the gray, and the blue. If you like very vivid and bright Easter colors, then by all means, don't paint the eggs. Leave them the way they were when you bought them. But I love the soft, muted colors. And I actually like that when you paint them, because they're glittery, they look like stone. It gives it a more high-end kind of look to me. So that's why I paint them. Now I'm just going to glue that bunny in the center of that wreath, and I'm leaving him in his natural wood tone. I'm going in with a little bit of hand lettering in my white chalk paint or white paint marker that I picked up at Dollar Tree, and I'm just writing the word home. I am doing my best to copy the Ray Dunn font with the long skinny letters, and of course by no means do I have it down the way it looks on her pottery and different things that she has, but I like it. I like the essence of it. You kind of get the hint of it. You know what I'm going for. So here's the final product. And it came out cute, you guys. On to DIY number 4, and this is the last one. We are using some of those Peeps Easter Bunny, I don't know, headbands. I have my Waverly chalk paint in the color plaster and also in ballet slipper and moss. And I have my Hello Hobby paint in the color pumpkin. I'm also using the Waverly chalk paint in the color elephant. And I am taking these bunnies apart. Now, I'm also using my Dollar Tree carrots. I almost forgot to tell you, I have 3 of the wooden carrots. But I'm cutting these bunnies apart so that I can paint them. And I was thinking, this is not fabric paint. I wonder how this is going to turn out. Well, it's paint. It'll dry. So I just went with it. It came out fine. But little side note, paint the pink bunny paint. Paint the pink bunny paint. Oh my gosh. Paint the pink bunny pink. Me and my twisted words. Um, that would have been a lot easier to just paint the pink one pink instead of painting over the blue one. I had to really push that paint into that fabric. It worked out, but I don't know where my head was at when I did it. Anyway, I've got all my bunnies painted pink, elephant gray, and moss green. And now I'm painting my wood carrots in the pumpkin and the moss green for the little tops. I did paint the front and the back of these bunnies. And if you paint them with a downward stroke, they look like suede. If you paint them with an upward stroke, the fur stands up, or the fabric stands up, and it looks like fur. So I did 2 fur and 1 suede kind of paint look. Now, this ceremony sign was something else. I had to paint it 3 times to get rid of the word ceremony so that you could not see it. And I did paint the front and the back of the sign, and I did paint the front and the back of the bunnies because you're going to see them on either side. So I wanted both sides to be neat and pretty. So now I'm going in with my own hand lettering that I love to do, and I'm just writing bunny trail in 2 different fonts. I will do bunny in cursive and trail in print. Again, going in with that long kind of printing to mimic the Rae Dunn print as best I can because I like it. I think it's really neat. I like that kind of print. And there it is. And I'll go back in later with my Sharpie and darken that up, of course. And now I'm just gluing down my carrots. Again, this one is simple. It is so simple, but it comes out so cute. And that is it for this one. Oh, I do this all the time. We're going to make a bow. This is really just a knot tied in the center of some ribbon. And I did not end up making a bow, but it gives you the essence of a bow. You feel like it's a bow. So I just tied a knot in the center of this gray and white gingham ribbon. And I'm going to glue one to the back of each bunny. And it was brought to my attention by my sweetheart who watches me craft. He thinks I just do an amazing job. So he is the one that kind of pushes me, and he's my biggest cheerleader along with my daughter. He brought it to my attention that the bows almost look like the bunnies are hugging each other, like they have their arms around each other. And I stared at it for a while and I thought, yeah, it really does. That's kind of cute that you would pick that up. So anyway, we're going to put these little knotted bows on the bunnies, and then this one will be done, and we'll move on to the final reveal.